Love Island USA is full of shocking betrayals. From Weston abandoning Kelsey for Emily, to friends voting out their day one brothers, I'll be going over every betrayal in Love Island USA. Starting with one of the most friendship-destroying. Weston seemed like the loyal type, but what he did to Kelsey proved that even the nicest guys will throw you away for something better. And this betrayal literally taught Love Island USA how cruel it could be. Weston and Kelsey had what looked like a solid early connection in season 1. They were flirty, they were comfortable, and Kelsey was already talking about their future outside the villa. She was making plans about visiting him, meeting his family, the whole thing. Everyone thought they were safe from the drama that was hitting other couples. Weston seemed like the dependable guy who wouldn't get his head turned by some random new girl. But Weston was about to teach Love Island USA its first lesson about how brutal this game could really get. When new girl Emily walked into the villa, Weston immediately started having private conversations with her. He was telling Kelsey everything was fine while secretly planning to recouple with Emily. Kelsey had no idea what was happening behind her back. She was still making jokes with him, still being affectionate, still trusting that their connection meant something. During the recoupling ceremony, Weston chose Emily without any warning, leaving Kelsey completely blindsided. The cameras caught every second of Kelsey's face crumbling as she realized the man she trusted had been lying to her for days. Kelsey was so destroyed by the betrayal that she eliminated herself from the show rather than try to find someone new. Think about that. She was so broken by what Weston did that she gave up on finding love entirely. This wasn't just a breakup. This was Love Island learning it could break people on television and audiences would eat it up. Weston's betrayal set the template for every cruel recoupling that followed, but that betrayal looks like child's play compared to what Johnny did to Kelsey in Casa Amor. Johnny and Kelsey were America's favorite couple. But Johnny's actions in Casa Amor didn't just break her heart, they broke every fan's trust in Love Island relationships. And what makes this betrayal so much worse is how Johnny tried to cover it up. Johnny was in the strongest couple of season 2 with Kelsey. They had chemistry that jumped off the screen, they made each other laugh constantly, and fans were already planning their wedding. Johnny kept telling everyone how loyal he was and how much he missed Kelsey while she was stuck in the main villa. He was the guy who seemed too good to be true, respectful, funny, committed. But Casa Amor has a way of showing people's true colors, and Johnny's true colors were disgusting. Johnny immediately started getting close to Mercedes the second he walked into Casa Amor. He was sharing beds with her, having intimate conversations, acting like Kelsey didn't exist. He kissed Mercedes multiple times and was basically treating her like his girlfriend, while his actual girlfriend was sitting in the main villa talking about how much she trusted him. When he got back to the main villa, he lied about everything. He told Kelsey it was just friendly conversation while the other islanders knew the truth. He was gaslighting her while everyone watched. When Kelsey finally saw the Casa Amor footage, her reaction was devastating. She went through denial, anger, and heartbreak in real time while Johnny sat there trying to minimize what everyone could see with their own eyes. He kept saying it wasn't that serious, while Kelsey realized the man she loved had been manipulating her for weeks. The worst part was watching her blame herself when Johnny was the one who destroyed everything. But even Johnny's lies seem honest compared to the betrayal that fooled an entire season and millions of viewers. Jeremiah thought his day one friends had his back, but what they did during the dumping ceremony changed how every future contestant thinks about friendship in the villa. Because this betrayal proved that when money is involved, brotherhood means nothing. Jeremiah was one of the most popular guys in season 7. He had genuine connections with multiple women, he was everyone's friend, and he brought positive energy to the villa every single day. But especially with Nick, Ace, and Taylor, Maya, guys he called his brothers. They spent every day together, they shared secrets about their connections, they promised to have each other's backs no matter what happened in the villa. These weren't just friendships, these were alliances. When other people were plotting and scheming, these 4 guys seemed like the loyal ones who would stick together until the end. During a crucial dumping ceremony where the boys had to vote someone out, Nick, Ace, and Taylor all voted for Jeremiah. Not because he did anything wrong, not because he betrayed anyone, but because they were jealous of his popularity and wanted him gone so they could have better chances of winning. They sat in that dumping ceremony, looked their best friend in the eye, and voted him out of the villa. While Jeremiah was probably thinking about which girl to vote out, his own friends were plotting his elimination. When Jeremiah realized what happened, he called out Nick specifically because their friendship went back to day 1. The villa went completely silent because everyone knew they had just watched a friendship die on live television. Jeremiah's face showed pure betrayal, not heartbreak like you see with romantic couples, but the deep hurt that comes from realizing the people you trusted most were willing to destroy you for money. It proved that when $50,000 is on the line, no friendship is safe in the Love Island villa. These betrayals show that Love Island USA isn't about finding love. It's about discovering who will destroy you when everything is on the line. Cinco had 2 women fighting over him, but his choice didn't just break hearts. It showed how indecision can be the cruelest betrayal of all. because sometimes leading someone on is worse than rejecting them immediately. Cinco was living every man's fantasy in Season 3. Cache and Trina were both obsessed with him. He had flirty banter with Cache that made everyone laugh, and deep conversations with Trina that seemed more serious. Instead of making a choice like a normal person, he kept both women hanging on for weeks. He was promising each of them that they were special, that he was feeling a connection, that he just needed more time to figure things out. But really, he was just enjoying having two beautiful women compete for his attention. During the recoupling ceremony, Cinco shocked everyone by choosing Trina over Cache, despite spending weeks building up his connection with Cache and making her think she was the obvious choice. Cache's face showed complete devastation because she thought she had this in the bag. She had been flirting with him, making him laugh, being vulnerable about her feelings, and she genuinely believed their connection was stronger. The cameras caught her trying not to cry while Cinco explained his decision like it was some deep, thoughtful choice. Cinco's betrayal was worse than just choosing wrong. It was leading someone on for weeks while secretly preferring someone else. He let Cache invest emotionally, open up about her feelings, and plan a future with him, all while planning to dump her on national television. That's not indecision. That's emotional manipulation disguised as being thoughtful. But indecision is nothing compared to the calculated manipulation that destroyed relationships in Season 5. Leo promised Cache he would stay loyal in Casa Amor, but what he did with Johnny proved that some men will lie about anything to keep their options open. And his betrayal showed just how meaningless promises are in the Love Island villa. Leo and Casa seemed unbreakable going into Casa Amor. They had survived other temptations, they were making future plans, and Leo kept reassuring her that no one could turn his head. He was telling her she was the most beautiful woman he'd ever met, that he couldn't wait to bring her home to meet his family, that Casa Amor would just make their relationship stronger. Casa trusted him completely and was excited to see him when Casa Amor ended because she thought their separation would prove how real their connection was. Leo immediately connected with Johnny the second he walked into Casa Amor. He was sharing beds with her, having intimate conversations about their future, kissing her like they were already a couple. He was telling Johnny the same things he had been telling Casa, that she was special, that he felt a real connection, that he wanted to explore their relationship. When the Casa Amor videos were shown to the main villa, Casa saw everything, the intimate conversations, the physical contact, the way Leo was looking at Johnny like she was the love of his life. Casa's reaction was explosive because Leo had looked her in the eye and promised faithfulness while planning to cheat the entire time. She realized that every conversation they had before Casa Amor was a lie. Every promise was manipulation. Every I love you was just Leo keeping his options open. The betrayal wasn't just about the cheating, it was about the lies that made it possible. These betrayals prove that Love Island USA has become a game where trust is the most dangerous thing you can have. Nadja was coupled with Nike after he joined during Casa Amor, but her sudden pursuit of Jeff didn't just break his heart, it showed how quickly new connections can destroy established relationships. And Nike's reaction proved that some betrayals cut deeper than others. Nadja and Nike seemed like they had real potential after Casa Amor. He had chosen her over staying with his original partner. They were having deep conversations about their connection, and Nike was genuinely invested in making their relationship work. He was the type of guy who took relationships seriously, who wanted to build something real instead of just playing games. Nadja seemed like she was on the same page, talking about how glad she was that he picked her, and how excited she was to see where things could go. When Jeff entered the villa, Nadja immediately started having secretive conversations with him and pulling him aside for private chats. She was telling Nike that everything was fine while clearly exploring her options with someone else. During the recoupling ceremony, she shocked everyone by choosing Jeff over Nike, leaving Nike completely blindsided and hurt. His face showed pure confusion because he thought they were building something real together. Nadja's swift change left Nike feeling so betrayed that he eliminated himself from the villa shortly after. He couldn't handle being in the same space as someone who had made him believe in their connection just to throw it away for someone newer and more exciting. Her betrayal showed that in Love Island, no relationship is safe from the next person who walks through the door. But sudden switches are nothing compared to the psychological manipulation that destroyed Season 6. Rob confronted Leah about her manipulative tactics, but this wasn't just a normal breakup. It exposed how some contestants use emotional manipulation as strategy, and their confrontation revealed the dark side of playing games with people's feelings. Rob and Leah had been building a connection that seemed genuine from the outside. They were having deep conversations, sharing personal stories, and Rob was really opening up about his feelings. But Rob started noticing that Leah was playing games, manipulating situations to her advantage, influencing other people's relationships, and using emotional tactics to control the villa dynamics. She wasn't just playing the game, she was playing with people's emotions. During their confrontation, Rob called out Leah's manipulative behavior directly. He accused her of playing games with his feelings, of using their connection to gain power in the villa, and of betraying his trust by treating their relationship like a strategic move. His face showed genuine hurt because he had been vulnerable with someone who was just using him. Leah's defensive responses made it clear that she saw nothing wrong with her tactics. The moment escalated because Rob realized that everything about their relationship had been calculated on Leah's part. Every conversation, every intimate moment, every time she made him feel special, it was all part of her game plan. That kind of betrayal hits different because it makes you question your own judgment and wonder if any of your feelings were real. Their breakup reshaped alliances in the villa because everyone realized that emotional manipulation was now part of the game. Cordell was in a committed relationship with Serena, but what he did with Daya during Casa Amor proved that even the strongest couples aren't safe from temptation, and Serena's reaction showed what happens when trust gets completely shattered. Cordell and Serena were one of Season 6's strongest couples going into Casa Amor. They had survived drama with other contestants. They were making plans for after the show, and everyone thought they were unbreakable. Cordell kept telling Serena that she had nothing to worry about, that Casa Amor would just prove how much he loved her, that no one could compare to what they had together. Serena was nervous about the separation, but trusted that their connection was strong enough to survive anything. Cordell got intimately close to Daya during Casa Amor, sharing kisses and having conversations about exploring their connection. He was treating it like he was single, like his relationship with Serena was just something casual he could put on hold. When the Casa Amor videos were shown to the villa, Serena saw everything. The way Cordell was looking at Daya, the physical intimacy, the conversations about their potential future together. Serena's emotional crash out was devastating to watch because she realized that the man she loved had been willing to throw away everything they built for someone he just met. Cordell's attempts to downplay what happened made it worse because Serena could see with her own eyes that it wasn't just innocent conversation. The betrayal destroyed one of the season's strongest couples and proved that no relationship is safe in Casa Amor. But even Casa Amor betrayals pale in comparison to the manipulation that happened right in the main villa. Carmen abruptly ended things with Bergie right after he chose to stay in the villa for her, proving that sometimes the cruelest betrayals happen right when someone shows the most loyalty. And Bergie's reaction showed what happens when genuine feelings meet calculated gameplay. Bergie had been fighting for Carmen throughout their entire relationship. Other guys were interested in her. She was getting attention from new arrivals, but Bergie stayed committed to building their connection. When he had the chance to couple up with other women or even leave the villa, he chose to stay specifically because of Carmen. He was telling her how much she meant to him, how he wanted to fight for their relationship, how he believed they had something special worth protecting.
You've been my number one all the way through. I got a second chance and I saw you and I was like, no way, this is happening right now. Like everything was just matching.
Carmen waited until right after Bergie made this huge gesture of loyalty to tell him she wasn't feeling their connection anymore. Her timing was brutal because she let him make this big romantic decision and then immediately threw it back in his face. She was cold and dismissive about it, like his feelings and his sacrifice meant nothing to her. The other Islanders were clearly uncomfortable watching this happen because everyone could see how much Bergie cared about her. Bergie's reaction showed genuine heartbreak because he realized that while he was fighting for their relationship, Carmen was already planning her exit strategy. He felt used and manipulated because Carmen had let him believe their connection was mutual when she was just keeping him around until something better came along. His hurt was visible to everyone in the villa, and the awkward atmosphere afterwards showed that even the other contestants thought Carmen's timing was cruel. Carmen's betrayal proved that sometimes the most painful moments happen when you think you're finally safe. Which betrayal shocked you most? And subscribe for more Love Island breakdowns.